What up? So I don't know if anybody experienced a sleepless night last night, or a lot of random energy. Super awake last night. But this came in and bothered me around, like, I don't know, 8 something, and then would not stop until about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. And they just kept talking about the subsection of the collective that's the divine masculine part of the population. And they just kept talking and talking and talking. And I just finished Reno, and I just figured I'd make a video on it, and hopefully it would stop bothering me. So, get ready. They're talking about how the divine masculine needs to elevate his 3D, his reality, his physical world. And they're talking about this subsection of the collective of the divine masculines who have been having their shakeup, their revelations, their clarity, their truths. I want to say that they've been having their largest part of their awakening to where they truly feel whole, to where they truly feel happy, to where community is beginning to happen, to where their mind, body, soul is beginning to merge into one energy. And they're super pertinent in the fact of this part of the collective would have just recently either finished or is finishing an ascension, is finishing an elevation, is finishing a rise up in frequency or vibration, which may have looked like a headache, extreme drowsiness, vertigo, congestion. I'm not getting so much chest congestion, but definitely like nasal, top of forehead, but I'm really like pulling in through here. But a lot of like up, down, feeling like on fire and then exhausted, feeling like this and then blown out, but you would have experienced some of these. And they're talking about how because your higher mind, because your higher consciousness is starting to meld into one, and because it is elevating at such a rate, you're noticing it in the 3D. But because they're talking specifically about astral, and they're talking about your dream realm, dream state, whatever you want to call it. When your soul, quote unquote, leaves the body, whatever, and does its thing at night. They're talking about how that state of being has become peaceful. That state of being has become more bliss. That state of being has become more whole and more centered. Centered in oneness is the way that I want to say it, that we mind. And then when you wake back up, reality slaps you in the face. Past is coming back. Personal issues, family issues, job problems, financial issues. There's a lot of things that seem to be coming to a head right in front of you in like a precipice moment. And they're saying because things are being shook up for the divine masculine on purpose, because they want him to change his surroundings. They want him to change his 3D. And they keep pulling at the fact that the 3D is in process to match I'm going to use the word 5D because I don't have another label for it. So I'm not a fan of the term, but to match the higher soul, to match the soul instead of the reality of it. And they just keep talking about it on repeat, how things are hard right now because they're wanting the masculine to make choices of releasing what does no longer serve his soul because he has elevated past it. It's not, they're very adamant that it's not a hindrance, it's not a bad thing, and you're not in trouble for it. I don't know any of the masculines that think that they're failing right now because these things are coming up. They're not. It's necessary for evolution, evolvement, is the way they're kind of making it sound. They're talking about how you can't take the things that you've outgrown in the physical with you, and that's why you're feeling such a disconnect between what your soul is feeling and the reality you're watching, is the way that they're saying it for you divine masculines. So really take a look during the shakeup right now and see what you need to release, because they're asking you to level up your reality to match your higher consciousness. They're asking you to level up the things you tolerate. They're talking about taking a look back at things that you maybe thought you had moved past, to realize you just weren't healed enough to accept them. I know that's a weird thing. But specifically they're talking about people, whether that be family constructs, whether that be, no, they're talking family, like, it almost makes me feel parental. It makes me feel, maybe spousal. I'm not getting a big pull to siblings, but maybe parental or spousal. They're talking about how some things may have irritated you before. Some things, because of your lack of the ability to accept where somebody was at the time because of where you were at your healing, you may have written some things off and deemed them unnecessary or a hindrance, or a distraction or a bother or something that was pulling or tugging on your energy. But they were really saying how it was a lack of you and your inner balance, and a lack of you being able to set proper energetic boundaries and having the ability to not take things so personal. And they're saying your new elevation, you'd be surprised at the things you crave. You'd be surprised at the things you crave. And they're talking about the need to kind of reassess some of the things that you may have closed the door on or pushed away, or maybe separated yourself from. That there might be a few things you may be finding yourself craving again that you can now actually better handle in a more neutral place and not take things so personal, so that they do not hinder you as much. And with better boundaries energetically, things will not tug or pull on you as much. So you may be able to reintegrate a piece of yourself that you had thought you'd had to lose or you had to cast aside, which you no longer have to due to your recent elevation. They just keep talking about the divine masculine, time to change up. It's time to elevate, it's time to grow, and you're being called to do such things. You're being called to reassess the people and the things that you have around you, and you're being asked to match and mirror your reality, your 3D, your physical world with that of your higher soul, your higher mind, your higher consciousness. And they're asking you to reflect what you truly are, because they're talking about how your soul is merged and elevated. Your frequency has risen, your vibration has increased, your peace, your state of peace in the higher elevations is greater. And then you come home to chaos. That's the way I want to say it. And then you blink in chaos in your 3D with problems or issues. And as much as you try to see the good in everything, they are talking about how much you try to see the good in everything, and they just keep talking about some things aren't meant to stay. And it's okay, but they're asking you to release what does not make your higher soul happy. They're asking you to release what does not make your higher soul happy. I keep hearing the word oppression, and then mixed with depression. The things that oppress and depress you are not in merger or alignment with your higher soul, and they're asking you to cast them aside, to release them, to let them go, to help to allow them to leave your reality, or for you to move away from them and reach yourself towards what your soul actually aligns with. I keep hearing put your humanness aside, and they keep saying it over and over again. And I don't know if your humanness in this instance is pride, because it would be a change up, it would be a switch up, it would be a change. But they're talking about if you really want the bliss that you go to bed with, and this is the weird way to say it, if you really want the bliss that you go to bed with, so what your elevated soul does while your body's asleep, if you want that kind of happiness, oh God, my throat just went out. If you want that kind of happiness, if you want that kind of, oh, God damn, if you want that kind of happiness, if you want that kind of bliss, then you have to release the old things that you've outgrown in your 3D. And they're warning the masculines, it's only going to shake up more. Things are only going to get more difficult. And whoever's team this is, like whatever part of the subcollective that this energy is talking about, they keep alluding to the fact that you're playing the fates, playing the stars. They keep saying it in a weird way. It makes me feel like you're calculating moves, maybe, or you're making excuses for current situations based on astrological alignments. Maybe that's what they're getting at. Yeah, making excuses for astrological alignments. And they're saying don't, because they'll keep it going. They'll keep it going if they have to. So they're warning So they're warning this. They're warning you that if you play the game of planets, they will prolong the shakeup outside the planets to prove a point. They're saying planets are amplifiers, but it's not. It's not what's causing the shakeup. They're adamant that you're causing the shakeup because you're elevating at a rate that you're outgrowing your physical space. They just keep saying, you asked for this, you asked for this, you asked for this. You ask for happiness, you ask for something to fall into place, you ask for alignment, you ask for home, you ask for family, you ask for this on repeat. You ask for this, you ask for this. Holy poop. Alright, that's a long video. I'm sorry. I hope this reaches whoever needs to reach, and I hope that it finds whoever it needs to find so I can stop being bothered about the divine masculine while I'm trying to do shit. Bye, guys.